Hey, Pierre Francois, great to see you here, and no worries at all that you're feeling under the weather. We've all been there very recently. I'm sure, but no problem. Take a peek. Toss any comments, questions in the chat in the session, and we'd love to bring those up. And let's see. So we got in the session chat, we got Emiliano, fastest 4 weeks of a lifetime. I can imagine. I'm gonna like that there. The time flies when you're having fun. This is very true, very true. Hello, Lucy. And for all of those who were pitching and the graduates today, feel free to request to join me on stage here. We're gonna kick off this happy hour session, and I'm just going to start letting you all in here one by one as the requests come in. Monday, Sarah, Eli. Oh, we've got a bunch of folks tuning in. Hello, everyone. Holy, I can't even catch up with all these requests. Boom, boom, accept, accept, accept. Look at everyone here today. No ninja masks coming in, hey? All right, all right, all right. Perfect. Welcome back, everyone. We're still gonna give some folks time to join the sessions if they haven't requested yet. Oh, I just let Ozzy in, but Ozzy, hopefully, if you want to add a comment, feel free. If not, I can remove you and you can request back in if you'd like. But let's see. Am I missing anyone? Any pitchers or presenters? Feel free to join us. Hello, Ozzy. Great
Hey,
seeing you.
sorry, it was just bugging out for me a little bit.
No worries at all, Ozzy. If you've got something to add, feel free. I'll invite you onto the stage if you want to make a comment later on. Is that cool?
Sure.
Perfect. I'll just remove you off the stage here. Oh, no. Lovely. Awesome. And so we've got, I think we've got most of the members here. Am I not, if I'm not mistaken, we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think we're waiting for 2 more, maybe. I'm not included in the 14 there. But we've got Divakar, Diana, Andrew. Andrew's shouting out Sonia there. Diana, camera issues, no worries, Jacob, no worries at all. As long as you've got audio, that's the most important there. But with this, everyone, you on stage with the pitches, great job today. Phenomenal pitches and projects. And it's super, super impressive to see what you've built in just 4 weeks. I believe it was Emiliano who said the fastest 4 weeks of a lifetime of his life. So I'm sure that's the case with everyone there. I see Stephen Curtis, great to see you. Beatriz as well. Mauricio. Who else do we have here? We've got quite a few folks joining, but I think we've got another one. We've got so that was great. Hey, phenomenal job, everyone. Kudos to you all. Great work. This is all a celebration of the last several months of learning that you've done and the last month or so of projects being built. Sonia shooting bubbles or water around. I love it. Confetti. But with this, I'd love to kick it off. I do know we've got some industry members here as well that I'd love to ask some, get some questions from them and ask questions to them as well. So for all of you who are tuned in here, if I shout you out, hopefully it's you're not too worried to provide some feedback and answers here. I see Divakar saying it's night for me right now, like 3:20 a.m. But your projects made my sleep run away. So I was just booming without coffee, but your projects really made me inspired. So love it. And I do see, yeah, I've got that there. With this, I'd love to ask you all, and maybe if you want to answer the question, you could put your hand up so I can see, that your videos are on. But just to kick off this happy hour and to share with some of the industry members we have in the audience here today, what inspired you and motivated you to learn these skills, and what is and essentially aspire you to be a Unity developer? So if anyone wants to, kick it off with their insights, what motivated you to learn these skills and to aspire to be a Unity developer? I've got Eli here. Eli, feel free to knock it out.
Yeah, I mean, I think my big aha moment at the first time I put on the headset, I realized that you basically digitize an environment, and then you digitize stuff, you demonetize it, and then you go, wow, you can create some really interesting experiences in here. And if the nervous system perceives it as being real, it's real. And so this idea of virtual reality not being reality, to me, I think, I don't know, I think it misses the mark. I think reality is what your nervous system perceives. And so I was like, wow, this is, so we have this technology that you could basically essentially create any type of environment, and your nervous system perceives it as being real. I was like, and experiences are like the gateway to growth. I was like, wow, that's like a powerful combination. So that's kind of like my thesis. It was like, wow, okay, I'm all in on this. Yeah.
I love it. And Gene, see you got your hand up. Feel free to knock it out of the park.
I don't know about this, but if you guys ever seen Oculus Quest, like their first tethered like headset and like their tutorial, or like their selling game where you see like a huge T-Rex, and like the actual immersive size of it, and like you're like, whoa, this is amazing. Like the moment I saw that feeling of like, oh my god, like this like immersion of like this is what an actual T-Rex looks like, and like the feeling of it, I'm like, VR is gonna lead up to somewhere, and like I need to learn how to like develop this and implemented it with like any type of aspect that would come out of it.
Very true. I see Sayali, and then Carlos. I see you, Carlos, as well. Sayali, please.
I have two reasons. I don't know. First of all, I don't know if anyone dreams a lot, but I dream a lot, like every night that I sleep. So for me, it was like putting on a VR headset was like kind of like being in my dreams, and I was like, can I actually be the one to like create environments and worlds and experiences for people in that VR to like, because I enjoy my dreams. Like I have a lot of adventures, it's like, it's not reality, but you can emulate reality in like a magical way. So that was one thing. And then second of all is like VR is just a really growing field right now. I think we all know that by now. And I'm someone that really believes that the world currently is in a big state. I think we can all see that with the politics, the world, global warming, all those problems. And I thought, why not like get into a field that's growing, that more people are going to get involved in, even though it's tech, and use that to like build these experiences and educational things and a lot of different things that can basically promote betterment for humanity. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Carlos, please feel free.
Well, my experience came out of nowhere. I was introduced with the HoloLens 2, and I was so impressed with what I was seeing. I love technology. I'm a big geek, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. Like, I was so impressed. It's like, I want to be a part of this. And that's what actually led me into finding you guys, start doing my own tutorial, like not doing my own tutorials, but following tutorials, trying out to do my own projects, and eventually decided like, this is the thing. I really want to learn this. And I come from an engineering background, so I see a lot of potential with also a lot of tools that can be created. And that's the beauty of what I find interesting about all this.
I love it. Thank you for sharing, Carlos. I think I saw Kara and then Emiliano, so I'll let Kara, please.
Yeah, actually, I was going to say when I first experienced VR, it gave me the same feeling as when I first experienced theater. And I've been involved in theater for most of my life for the same reason that I'm involved with VR now. You can, again, like everyone else has said, you create experiences and you can take somebody somewhere where they can learn something new or feel something new, and you basically create an environment that you get to be in. And that's just super exciting.
Thanks for sharing, Kara. And then Emiliano, please go ahead.
I've been a martial arts trainer and an IT trainer for many years, and what's really caught my attention is the potentiality of XR and particular VR to for education, how powerful it can be to transmit knowledge and teach to people. That's it's unbelievable. It's like mind blowing. So that was the biggest reason for me.
I love it. Thanks for sharing, Emiliano. Cody, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, Cody, please.
Yeah. I've always been a huge fan of art across many different mediums, I suppose, and spent a lot of time outside of VR, not having experienced it, not really understanding, but I've always been a huge fan of video games as well. When I finally put on the headset, everything kind of clicked, and you kind of realize that this is a medium where you can bring different aspects together: audio, visual, music, everything comes together to create these really compelling experiences. And I just found that I found that to be a really powerful tool, just to create a variety of experiences. It's so diverse what you can create with this. So that's kind of what led me down the road.
I love it. Love it. Thanks for sharing, Cody. Anyone else here? Did I miss any hands go up by chance? Sonia, please.
Yes, I want to say something too. I had similarities like for Sayali. I'm a big dreamer too, and definitely like the state of dream. And like many people don't dream so much, but this is where we are flowing. This is where we are out of space and physics and rules. And, we can see something and like the possibilities inside the dreams are endless. The possibilities we have with VR and really create these immersive spaces where we are out of time and inside the flow and really get back to our senses in a way of cutting the surroundings out, which we are so overflown with how we live, and creating spaces where we come to us again. And like it is a connector for the world, but also for ourselves when we take trainings or in meditation apps or even these fitness of Elias. Wonderful idea, right? So we can create everything we want inside our brain, and what our brain is true, it is true, right? And in combination with neuroscience and this transdisciplinary and all these diverse people coming together, creating new stuff, like based on all design patterns, let's say, or rules, but using new technology and creating different ways of approaching the old and given is super fascinating. Also, this tool being able, with the 3D, with the modeling, with the coding, with the corporations, it's just explosions of ideas and possibilities. And this is what fascinates me most and fulfills me completely.
Love it. There were a lot of projects today solving real world challenges, issues, or concerns people are having. So it was really great to see these projects being shared through to the community and the industry in hopes of solving those issues and problems and challenges that people are experiencing. That's great. Anyone else want to share? I do have a question here from Steven that I can bring up, but nonetheless, still open to anyone who wants to share, what motivated them to learn these skills and aspire to become Unity developers. If you'd like to share, hands up. If not, I'll toss Steven's question up here. Looks like we're good. So this one's to the panel, to all of you. So again, if you want to answer, please toss up your hand. For the panel, what are you seeing among your peers that are barriers to entry for wider adoption of XR? And what do you think needs to be done to overcome them? So the question is in the chat if you wanted to go back and read it. But any initial, panelists here that want to share their insights and what they're seeing with their peers. Sarah, please go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So I guess I'm speaking more from a younger perspective because I'm still in university. But I think, honestly, a huge barrier is just costs. Headsets are not cheap. I mean, my Oculus Quest 2 cost me around $400 US, which is, it's a big ask. And then you have to buy all of the games, and you also in order to run a lot of games, you have to have a good computer. And for a lot of people who are kind of just starting out with a lot of this stuff, or people who are switching over careers, they don't know all of this beforehand. You know, someone who works in a field that doesn't require a lot of technical materials isn't going to have them on hand already. I'm very lucky that because I'm into gaming, I have a good computer and I have other devices that I can use. But I know a lot of people who really want to get into, you know, VR and XR, but they just can't justify spending the money on all of these things that you need. And so I think that for now, it still needs to become, yeah, exactly. A lot of people are still developing on Macs. I developed on a Mac for the longest time, and it was not a fun experience. So I think that there's just the cost of entry is very high. And so if we could make it more consumer friendly, or if we could make something like Unity more accessible on lower end machines, that would be great. Because I know when I try to run it on my Mac, it sounds like an airplane. It's not good. It's not good at all.
Agreed. Even my PC, I'm sure everyone in the office that works with me can vouch. My older PC is like a little a starship on its own, on the vents exploding out everywhere. But Emiliano, I saw you put your hand up, but before you go, Jason Dedrick did message me that he would like to share as well. So Jason, feel free to unmute yourself and share your insights here too. Oh, so nothing's coming out yet, Jason. For myself, when I was doing the pitches, I had to mute and unmute myself again. So that might help. Oh, still running into some issues. So Jason, take your time. Play around with your audio. Give us a shout when the audio is working. And I'll go to Emiliano. Emiliano, I believe I saw your hand come up there.
Yeah, I totally agree with what Sarah says, but I see the curve is definitely going in the right direction. The headsets are getting more and more powerful. The Quest Pro is absolutely fantastic. Of course, the price right now it's prohibitive for most.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
all
we
good,
can.
Jason. All good. We'll just let Emiliano wrap up, and we'll get to you.
I think this is going to explode exponentially. Prices are gonna get lower and lower, and hardware is gonna get more and more powerful. So there's really no big obstacles right now to the expansion and popularization of XR.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Definitely. I mean, hardware is always, still is a barrier to entry for folks. But as you were saying, Emiliano, it's getting more affordable, more powerful, and it's trending in the right direction. Let's hope it's actually at that point. Well, I'm gonna say our cell phones cost like $1,000 each, right? So I know we've all got a cell phone. So, it's the decisions we make, but nonetheless, the more affordable these XR devices get, the more accessible they are, the more adoption we're going to see. Jason, please go ahead.
Now can you hear me?
All good.
Awesome.
Yes.
Okay. So just quickly, I think I started way back 2012 thinking about issues with veterans who had PTSD, and the whole concept of like being able to control triggers in your spatial environment is really where the spawn of like why I got into XR was. Could we, anneal, adjust information to prevent triggers and help people from having environmental like conflicts that would, trigger neural pathways? So I really started on the, hard neural coding, like what was XR, how did it relate to sensing coding? So that was really the cue into the whole market. And obviously there was, a versioning, space, especially with Oculus and its, Kickstarter foundations that, this was obviously going to be world changing, transformative in a way that, was neurobiological at the same time. So I really took it from that angle. And I'm glad I did, because I think the market will probably show in the next few years the movement towards, experiential gameplay that's encoding a little bit more closely to the senses. Anyway, that was my little thing. Sorry, I'm going to go ahead and log out now.
No worries. Hey, that's great. Thank you for sharing, Jason. And I saw Ozzy had something I wanted to bring up, but before I do, Uh, uh, everyone here, the graduates and the pitchers, we've had some people reach out to us, interested in offering some employment and job opportunities already after the pitches today. So we wanted to ask you all, do any of you have an interest in working in enterprise or industrial XR? So it wouldn't be gaming related, but I see some thumbs up. If that's a yes, toss them into the chat. Just put a yes in the chat. And then that way we can collect the interest and be sure to refer you all to those who reached out, offering some employment opportunities there. Let's see what else we got here. So we've got some questions, but I'm going to get to Usman's comment here. So Usman works as a VP in applied research for XR, VR, and these technologies. And sorry, anytime someone comments, it skips away. But let me just copy and paste it here. Okay. And Ozzy is trying to fill up his team with a diverse background of folks, and he'd first like to know, anyone with these experiences or has an interest or experience with this research experience, UX backgrounds, any potential PhDs or PhD students, and if so, what research topics you would like to research, experience developing for accessibility, data visualization, and experience gamifying training simulation. So the question or the comment is in the chat. So feel free to scroll up a bit. It was at, it looks like 3:01 Pacific time, if you wanted to find the timestamp of that comment there. But I believe he's at, JP Morgan Chase. So they are hiring as well. If you fit some of these and are interested, let us know as well. Give us a shout. You can reach out to Usman as well, and he'd be happy. He'd be happy to chat with you. Okie dokie. So questions. I'm gonna go to the Q&A tab now. So we've got one from Lucy to the panelists here. What would you say to someone who wants to start developing? Get into XR development, Unity development, but they're overwhelmed and scared. Words of wisdom from someone who's gone through this and probably been in the same shoes. Any hands? Okay, I saw Cody and then Monday. So Cody, please.
Just go for it. Failure is a big part of working in this industry, I think. Doing something the wrong way so that you can correct it and do it the right way is just part of the learning process. And there's a huge, extremely valuable community on the web in places like CircuitStream as well that support the learning process through becoming an expert. So just do it, I would say.
Yeah, the Nike slogan. Just do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Cody, and thanks for the shout out. It really means a lot to us, and this is what we love to do, is to see you all thrive and come out, with these amazing projects and skills that you've learned. So thanks, Cody. Monday, please. I think you were next there.
Yeah, I think everybody on this call, has probably heard me say this before, but I always stress that you should start small, as similar to what Cody was saying as well. Like, I think a lot of us, especially when we're like new to XR or game development or Unity development in general, like we all come in having this really big idea of what we want to create. And it's very daunting to start with that. It's a lot easier to say, like, I want to create this like ninja experience. So in order to do that, I should probably figure out how to like hold a sword in VR and like tackle that. And then once you can hold the sword in VR, then it's like, okay, how can I throw a shuriken in VR? So for anybody who's like starting off, and like definitely if you feel intimidated, I would say you're probably intimidated because you're looking at like the elephant instead of appreciating like all the little hairs, and like focus on those smaller things. And one of the things that I like tell all like learners whenever they come to me for assistance wearing like the student ambassador hat is like, appreciate those weekend projects. Like, find something that you can do start to finish in 48 hours and really challenge yourself to like accomplish that goal. Because that was one of the things that I did. Like, C# was kicking my butt at the very beginning, so I like broke it down until I could like understand like in its most basic concepts, can I do this in C#, and then can I do that? And you'll grow your portfolio without you even realizing it. And then next thing you know, you're going to be developing that really big project, and it's going to be so much simpler because you would have like broke it down into smaller steps and you understand what you're doing each step of the way.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Thank you for sharing, Monday. And these are all great words of wisdom for folks who are, scared or concerned, nervous about diving into the industry. Anyone else want to share their, insights, experiences? We've got, Cody's Just Do It. Monday's mentioned here as well. Sonia, please go ahead.
First, I like everybody what said, like all agree. And also, like, don't expect it to be easy and don't expect it that it's working straight away. Like in my first 3 months, nothing worked, nothing at all, like catastrophe, nothing. But the moment like you keep through it and also come back, like I watched tutorials, I couldn't follow, but I went through and I didn't have the expectation that I will understand first time. But it's like learning a language. So you just, soak it, and then try yourself and speak and make mistakes all the time, mistakes. It's breaking all the time. But the moment you don't give up and the moment you see the bigger goal and that every step brings you so much further, every mistake teaches you so much, I think that's the most important, that you don't give up and take the mistakes and the breaks and all this bugs and errors as part of it and celebrate when you got it. And definitely you need a network, you need help. I would never ever be able to just stay through and make Unity work, make all the extra programs for all this, everything. So try to find network, try to find help. Don't be afraid of asking questions and go for it. Just go for it. And there comes a moment it makes click and it's working. And it's so rewarding.
It is, and I totally agree with you, son. You got to make those mistakes. It is like learning a language. You just got to practice, make those mistakes. Get someone to guide you, to support you. It's some more learning experiences, and then as you said, it just clicks one day, and you're able to really just dive into it. Eli, I believe I saw that quick hand go up. Please.
You caught me. You got a good eye, Stefan, there. No, and I'd say it's like prepare mentally too, because if you go in with the outset that it's going to come easy, you're going to set yourself up for failure, and you're going to be frustrated with the whole process. And so knowing that it's going to be struggle, you're going to struggle through it, right? And I think just having that mindset, so when you're in that space, this is part of the process. You're going to have some moments that you have this dopamine rush of elation, saying, "I got this thing to work in VR." And then the other times you're going to be like so frustrated because you can't get the code to work. And so I would just say it's going to be an emotional roller coaster as you pick up, and that's part of the process. So, and that's how we learn, right? So,
love it, Eli. And then Kara, yes, I saw that. Yes, please go ahead.
I was just going to add to what Eli said. That dopamine rush actually is caused by the frustration, I think. If you don't go through that first, you don't get the rush. But when you've struggled and it finally works, that's when you're like, yes. And it makes it all worth it.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, thank you for sharing those those insights. Did I miss anyone's hand by chance? Please, let me know if I did. Doesn't look like it. Quick scan. Okay, no, Sonia's just brushing her hair. I was gonna call you there, Sonia. So we've got another question here from Justin, and Justin's with Bad VR, and he's asking to the panelists, what is your dream job in XR? If you're looking, for employment, where would you like this to take you? So, let's open it up. Anyone who wants to answer that, what is your dream job or journey in XR, if we could say? All right, Sonia, yes, please.
Yeah, I start. I really see myself as a technical artist, knowing that this is like, I think it takes years of really calling myself a technical artist. What I like about is it's kind of the bridge between the 3D and the programming. So it's more generalistic than the others, but also goes in the optimization, in the analytic, like the shader programming I really like. And like the artistic part about it, like coding the art and making the art 3D, making it vibrate, making it experiences, I really want to be a technical artist. And be the bridge between the 3D and the programming, also being the bridge between the code and the art and music and the potential behind, because I do not want to decide and I don't want to exclude. So yes, I want to be a technical artist, and I'm aware that it's a long time to practice, long time to learn, and it's one of the most challenging. Maybe, I don't know, but yeah, the art behind the code.
Right.
It's what I love.
That's good to know. Good to know. Anyone else? Would they like to share what their dream job would be? Monday, please go ahead.
So this is probably like the most arrogant I'm probably ever going to sound for anybody who's ever talked to me. So I'm not actively looking. I'm one of those people that always keeps like possibilities open if the right position comes around. But I definitely think for me personally, like if I was to couple like the management experience that I have and like the like C-suite level business strategy, I really feel like my next step is like a game director at minimum. I think I do a really good job like networking across the project, understanding the different aspects of like game design and development and project management, and getting the teams aligned on like a roadmap and like a strategy. Gene, if that's 100% wrong, you're come off mute and say like Monday's terrible to work with. But I really think
100% right.
okay. Yeah, I really just think like for me, at bare minimum, next step would be like game director level, if not higher than that. Like I think I've done enough to prove that I know how to manage. I know how to be technical in many aspects of like game development, whether it is like a true game or a training simulation. You know, my previous company still uses the training simulation that I built for them, and they've invested in like the Quest Pro because of what I built for them. So like it can be applied, my tools can be applied. Um, so yeah, I mean, I'm at this point, I'm shooting for the stars. Like, I'm happy with where I'm at, even with like the career that I'm at. But I've been very clear with my bosses that like I want to be your boss next year. Like, and don't be surprised when that happens.
Right, right. That makes sense. That makes sense. Anyone else? Oh, boom, boom, confetti. Yes. Anyone else? Would you like to share? You know what your maybe dream job role in XR or Unity would be?
I'm just gonna unmute myself because
Yes, like, oh,
my
yeah.
camera my
Can't see your
camera's
hand.
not working right now.
Okay, go ahead, Jacob. Yes, not a problem. Unless, yeah.
Yeah, so my dream job is to be a technical artist. Sonia wants to be, and I have dreamed of being. I've dreamed of being in XR, but I haven't really narrowed in on a discipline until like starting the boot camp, when they really, you know, have you look into your career path and career journey and like narrow your skills and personality types down to a specific niche. And it turns out that technical artist is the, you know, niche that I would feel most efficiently. And I've been practicing making, you know, shaders and particle systems, learning Blender, all these different skills that technical artists would need. And if anybody is interested, I would be glad to be somebody's technical artist or join a company that has a technical artist role.
Perfect. Thank you, Jacob. And then Sayali, please. Yes.
So like similar to Jacob as well, I would really like to get into technical artist role. But in general, I think just like an overall basis of my dream job is like something that makes a difference, you know, like I would really love to work on applications or projects that push for therapy or education. I really want to just feel like good about the work I do, you know, that's like my main thing in life is like I really want to push for something that can make a difference, that can help the world. That's just like the main thing, and that would be the dream.
Love it. Love it. And then I see one question here from Anne. This was for Sarah. Sarah, looks like you got it. Depends on what the person's do. Do you want to mention something on the mic or?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I guess for entry level stuff for Unity development, it really depends if you want a desktop or a laptop. If you want a desktop, highly suggest building one yourself because it's cheaper. You can get parts individually on sale. I did it, and I did it with zero experience, and it works. I'm on it right now. Did not explode. As for laptops, get one that has a separate GPU from the CPU, if that makes sense. Don't get one that has it all in one. I feel like those are usually not super great. Get one that has a separate GPU and good memory as well, because Unity eats it up like a snack. So don't cheap out. Honestly, you're gonna need something expensive. My computer cost me so much money that I will never get back in my life.
Right.
But I can run Unity and I can also play games on it, and she's a beauty. So yeah, you can find things online about it.
Very true. Very true. And I wanted to ask a couple of the people in the audience here. David Ducasis and Ozzy, are you still around? If so, give me a yes in the chat. I would like to, get some insights. So we got Ozzy, yes. Ozzy and David, awesome. I got 2 yeses. Ozzy and David, would you like to join us on stage? I would like to ask you and to share with the panelists, Ozzy, you being at JP Morgan, David, you being with Kaleidoscope and managing the VRARA Association. I'd love to know, what do you think are the best skills and attributes to have as a Unity developer when going out and working with teams or finding a new career out there? Ozzy, I see you're here on stage, so feel free to add some insight. That'd be great to hear from a VP and leader like yourself.
Sure. First off, hey Jerry, good to see you again. I think it's quite diverse based on where you're going. Currently, the roles that I'm looking for, we do want someone to know Unity, someone who knows Babylon JS, Babylon and Anu.js, as well as potentially knowing Swift to build native iOS and Android applications. These kind of skills would be really helpful at this time. In our particular role, there's kind of the whole research environment going on. So any diverse background is kind of a plus as we want to expand our research department into many different use cases. But in general, I think for a Unity developer, if you know Unity, Swift, all the SDKs for Unity, these kinds of things will help out a lot as a AR/VR developer. But I'd love to hear from you as well, David.
Oh, awesome. So I'm not speaking from the technical background, guys. I'm speaking more from the business background. I run a small startup that's doing custom virtual reality training solutions in the areas of healthcare and workforce training. And speaking humbly, I'm going to let you guys know running a startup is quite hard. Takes a lot of effort, as Stefan knows. And as Lou over here at Circus Stream knows quite a bit about. So when it comes to developers and what I've seen in the past in our company and what succeeds and what doesn't, speaking purely from like the human perspective, attitude matters most. A good attitude of wanting to learn constantly, being a sponge and, wanting to learn from others around you is key. Self-learning, self-taught is very key for the developers that we're looking for. And that leads to technical skills that you're going to need for working for a company like Kaleidoscope. So as an example, yes, you guys are learning Unity today, and that's great. Tomorrow it could be something else. My company started as a Unity shop. Now we're diving deep into Unreal for VR. So, just keep open-minded, keep learning to make things easier for us to kind of, look at you and try to like evaluate your skill sets, have your portfolios ready, and understand, be humble too. Be humble in the sense of like, when you're approaching interviews and such, understand that everybody has their role within a team. Everybody contributes to the success of that team. And that's my advice right there. Attitude above all.
That's it. Thanks, David. Thank you for sharing. And huge part of it, right? And that's, the real value of being able to collaborate with teams and communicate effectively and things that you all learned here today. So thank you for sharing, David. And Ozzy, I'd like to go back to you. You shared a lot about, the things at JP Morgan Chase. You've been exposed to so many different companies and worked with various companies before. What else would you say are valuable things to have, to know, and as they are looking to take their next step in their XR journey.
I think David spoke really well on the soft skills that one should have. So I'll stick to the technical side then. Thank you, David, for covering that side. I think apart, kind of borrowing from what he said, I think just knowing a lot of the platform tools that are available, Unreal, Unity, Babylon, keeping up to date with all the newest stuff that's coming out, being able to identify kind of what you need for what hardware. I think one of the attitudes that people kind of who are new to the industry need to fight with is that XR is not the solution to everything. So once you're presented with a problem, you can't just, oh yeah, this is how you would do it in VR. Is it better to do that in VR? Like, ask these questions for yourself. But that's what I've noticed. Someone's new, they'll be excited and jump to that as a solution for everything.
Interesting. That makes sense. And then Usman had a question here from Lou for you, actually.
Sure.
The question was, Ozzy, did you know those tools languages when you first started?
No, I did not. Of course not. But I was very heavy on Unity, and fortunately, Lou was my first official Unity employer.
Nice.
So that was great. But it gives you an opportunity to learn on the job as well. I think it's just, in terms of me getting that job, I do feel very lucky. I think if you're trying to get your first job, you don't want to rely too much on luck. And so, you'll have to try harder than me otherwise, I guess.
Right. Definitely. So it kind of sounds like those soft skills, right? Super important as you're looking to take your next step, whether it's starting your own business, continuing work on your projects, joining other teams to work on projects. It sounds like the soft skills are quite important, but also continuously adding new skills to your tool belt, right? Learning, continuously seeing what's out there, the new best practices, right? Just learn, add those skills to your tool belt. And the more you know, the more kind of doors open up and the more opportunities will be presented. But Monday, I saw that hand come up. I won't miss it.
I just had a general question for Ozzy and David. If either one of you can answer. But David, it kind of got triggered with your comment. Do you all see like the future of XR staying majorly in Unity, or do you think there's going to be this gradual shift towards like Unreal and what that engine can do, like power wise?
Oh, okay. So I'll speak from the business perspective of what I've gotten to learn from my technical team. They're right now they've used it for doing a proof of concept for one of the projects we just worked on, and then they're doing it for the solution that we're trying to do that's multi-user, multiplayer training simulation for nurses. And right now, from what I see, is that it's going well. And from my lead developer, who has years of practice and years of experience in Unity, he's told me that so far from what he's seen in Unreal, it's quite impressive. A lot of it is already kind of plug and play. So it just seems like a little bit more of a, I guess, refined solution to answer you there.
For me personally, setting aside my bias for Unity, we are more recently bringing Unity into JP Morgan, so it's relatively new for us here as well. But in terms of the research field, I don't believe there'll be a shift to Unreal, just because Unity is so much faster when it comes to prototyping. Unity is just easier to work with. So at least in that side, you're not going to see too much Unreal being used. I think the pricing model is also not great for a lot of companies when it comes to Unreal. So it's an easy choice for them in that regard. Unity is far ahead when it comes to XR right now. So we'll kind of see where that battle goes after a few years. Unity and Unreal are great engines, but I think as an XR developer, Unity is great to have, and you should now look into other platforms like Babylon. It's huge, it's growing. That's the next thing. If I was you, I would jump on learning. Allows you to develop web XR really easily. So just some things to keep in mind. The battle goes beyond Unity and Unreal, for sure.
Love it. So, and then we have a question from Jacob here. What about Godot? Is that worth learning?
I have not come across anyone who uses that professionally. It's an excellent tool, but it's like it's like you're trying to use Unity or Unreal, but it's just far behind kind of thing.
Right. Okay, makes sense. And for the panelists here, I mean, we've got two, leaders and experts in the field. Any questions for them? That you'd like to know their professional insights on? Feel free to hand. Eli, please go ahead.
So, what are your thoughts on these small independent studios starting out as becoming a VR studio when we have some incumbents that are absolutely massive? And I'm just curious to kind of get your perspective, starting a studio at this point when we have some behemoths in the industry.
I think David's the best one to answer that for you.
Yeah, and I think maybe Luke could kick into this one too. But like for myself and our company, I would say don't be afraid. Like don't be afraid of taking on the giants that are in this industry. There's a ton of smaller studios that are being created every day across the world, and the reason why is because there's a lot, I mean, unlimited amount of problems that can be addressed through the XR applications that this group can develop here. So I would say on that end alone, like I'm not afraid of them. We're more nimble as smaller organizations. As an example, we've been put legs on avatars for over 6 months, year ahead of Facebook and Meta, and stuff like that. So it's just like we're more nimble. We're able to create at a faster pace, and I don't know. Like I feel a lot of the business is related to when you're talking about succeeding in business. It's about building relationships, human to human relationships. Nothing to do with VR, just human to human relationships, and you can succeed with that. So maybe Stefan could speak to this a little bit too, because he's forming a lot of great partnerships with others out there, and that's what leads to the success of Circuit Stream. So that's just my input.
No, that's great perspectives there, and I definitely echo what you all were saying there. Let's see. This one is for Ozzy. Ozzy, could you share a link to Babylon by chance in the chat here? Oh, you're on it. Boom. Quick. A little too quick for me. Now, folks, for those of you who do need to leave, tune out. We are at the time for ending the happy hour. I'm happy to continue it. Definitely happy to stay here. Emiliano, Sonia, I know it's probably super late for you both now. So if you're welcome, if you'd like to pop off, feel free. Anyone who'd like to pop off, feel free. But I do want to still provide the opportunity. Does anyone else have any questions for the panelists? Panelists, do you have any questions for David or Ozzy here? Kara, yes, please.
Yeah, I just had a really quick one, sort of going back to the barriers to wider adoption. Do you think advances in WebXR is going to assist that to make it sort of more of something that is going to appeal to more people or be accessible to more people?
Was that directed to me, Kara? Is that right?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, either one of you, whoever's feels like they could speak to that.
Sure. So yeah, Babylon is great for WebXR at this time. One of the key things that this tool is nice is, at least for really large companies, it's very easy to onboard for the company. When we're presenting different tools for us to use, they're like, "Oh, Babylon, yeah, no problem. Go ahead and use that." There's no hurdles for us to use it, so you'll see it become more adopted more easily that way, and you'll see more Babylon developers at these MNCs because of it. And yeah, Unity and Unreal don't do the best job right now when it comes to web AR, web VR. So Babylon is a nice kind of bridge for your knowledge there, and there's integration with Unity as well.
Okay, Gene, yes, please.
Ozzy, why is Babylon a lot better than like 8Frame for web VR?
So 8Frame has a very different business model. Babylon's open source now. You mean 8th Wall?
I think 8Frame.
8Frame.
Yeah.
I have to take a look in 8Frame once again, but that's another part of Unity. Is that right? That's integrated with Unity as well?
I believe it's like a separate, different type. It's for more like Mozilla Firefox is.
I see. Okay. Babylon's the one that I'm most coming into contact with at this time. Seems to be the biggest growing. Now, A-Frame, I'll have to take a look more into it before I can give you a definitive answer there. But I don't see too much of that knowledge here locally. And my concern again would be, how is the business model formed? Is it easy for companies to adopt this technology? Babylon's like the easiest thing I've seen a company approve. Is that going to be true with A-Frame as well?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Love it. Any other questions, panelists, for the folks here? And I mean, if not, if Andrew Alderetti, if you're still in the chat here, we could bring you up here as well to provide your insights on what makes someone successful in the field and working on projects and finding a new career. Andrew, if you're still here and if you're down to join us, oh God, called out. What's he gonna say? Is he gonna join the stage? I need my headphones. Bring him on. Lol. You know what, Andrew? If you'd like to join, request. I'll add you on. If you're at the comfort of your own home, need to toss on some pants. What do I do? There should be somewhere. I mean, Ozzy, David, maybe you can share how you were able to ask and put one on. Actually, let me just do this. No, that would be a video call. Andrew, there should be a request share audio video at the top here somewhere. There it is. Okay, here. We got Mr. Andrew Alderetti joining us. It'll take a couple of seconds for him to pop on. But another leader and legend in the space. We'll see.
Quick response back to Jean. So
Yes.
I'm taking a quick look at A-Frame. I don't see anything about augmented reality for web. It looks like it's just strictly doing web VR. I don't know if that's actually the case because I'm just looking at the title page here. But if that is, then Babylon does both. That would be the.
Okay.
A-Frame's pretty clunky too, Ozzy. It's been around forever and it's just kind of bloated. And I know a lot of people have been just complaining about performance issues with A-Frame and going towards Babylon. It's just cooler and it's lighter, etc. Like 3JS.
No, there you go. Thank you.
Andrew, welcome, my man. It's been a while.
What is up, everybody?
Good seeing you. And Andrew, if you don't mind doing a quick intro of yourself to the panelists here. Some of them know you, others may not. But yeah,
cool.
We'd love
Yeah,
to.
so I work for a company called Cineconcerts. We're in the live performance space. And I've done, I feel like all the classes this orchestra. I did the design class, the XR dev class, and the C# class. And I did some stuff this year with Unreal and AR stuff. I mean, everything. So I feel like I'm definitely a part of the family. My job at Cineconcerts is to do strategic development for the business in the XR space. And what that means is pretty broad. It means dabbling in a bunch of different things, including AR, XR, Unity, face paint, with face textures. I mean, all sorts of branded content for the business that potentially can be a new vertical that can make the company money, but also, give people something cool and fun to experience. So that's sort of me in a nutshell.
Right on. Well, welcome, Andrew. Great to see you back here. We got Sonia shooting bubbles again.
Thanks, Sonia.
And Andrew, and I'd like to ask you, and I'm sure this is what some of the panelists are also wondering, and we asked this to David and Ozzy earlier. What do you find makes someone a successful, Unity or XR developer as they're taking their next step, whether it's joining a company, starting their own thing, looking for maybe investments in their projects? Any insights from an expert like yourself?
I think it really goes down to the attitude and being able to want to give the impression that you're willing to do anything to get the product made or done. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be in the healthcare system. It could be a horror experience like yours, Sarah. It's really just, you have to be passionate about what you're doing, and that's infectious. And as an XR dev, You know, you're going to encounter problems all the time. There's going to be a ton of crap that you're not going to know. And that just goes with the territory, and you just have to be willing to dive into it and figure it out. And I think that sort of attitude at the onset will make you successful in whatever field or whatever direction or vertical you go into. And I, at least as a manager and a leader, I pick up on that immediately. And I think you want to gravitate towards bringing those types of people onto your team, because no matter what you throw at them, they're going to be excited to do it, because it may be learning something new, maybe something that they're afraid of, you know, figuring out, but they want to. And that's just sort of what I look for, and what I've seen is really successful in small teams, particularly in small teams.
Love it. Thanks, Andrew. Eli, did you have a hand up, or were you just like swatting the fly away? No. Okay, all good. And you know, Andrew, appreciate you joining on stage here. I know it was sudden, unexpected. Love the insights, and
congrats, everybody. Your
yes,
presentations were amazing. I'm so impressed.
Agreed. And for the panelists, I mean, you know, we can wrap things up here slowly. Any last minute questions, comments, anything you'd like to add or share or ask to the audience members, to Ozzy, to David, to myself, to each other? Anyone wanna you know, mention anything, ask anything? No, looks like it's all good there. Perfect. Well, you know, with that, we could slowly start wrapping up. To all of you graduates and pitchers, congratulations. You made it. You did it. I'm sure this was, you know, leading up to today, it was, you know, quite stressful, but you all nailed it. You know, we've had people approach us already asking for, you know, who's interested in working in enterprise and industry, non-gaming related opportunities and roles. We've got a lot of other job opportunities that have been followed up and reached out to us. For any other mentorship, investment opportunities that come across us, we'll be sure to let you all know. But you all did great. And again, this is a celebration of the work that you've done today and over the last several months in the Unity Bootcamp here. So congratulations again. Great work. Give yourselves a pat on the shoulder. And I'm sure that the leaders we have here on stage with us and backstage can vouch for, you know, all the great work that you've done here.
Yeah,
so thank you.
Yeah, just to add, if anyone is interested in working in a more research capacity, feel free to message me on LinkedIn. I posted it in the chat there. And you kind of saw the questions I was asking, what kind of backgrounds we're looking for and whatnot. But thank you for having me here, Steph.
Of course. Thank you, Ozzy, and thank you, David, as well. And again, congratulations, everyone. You did it. You nailed it. We look forward to seeing where you go next. And thanks for being part of the Circuit Stream community and the family. We love you all. And have a good afternoon, evening, morning for some of you. And we'll see you again soon, eh? Congratulations, everyone.
Take care.
Bye.